Hi guys, welcome back to Dave Astrology. I've been waiting to complete the Saturn retrograde video as well because now all the major transits in terms of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, Ketu have come into fruition. Jupiter is in Atichari movement, which means that he will be doing another transit into the sign of its exaltation of Cancer later in October, and we are going to discuss that a touch bit in this video as well. But the objective of this series is to give you guys an understanding now that from the second half of July all the way till end of December, what you should guys be anticipating with respect to your respective rising as well as moon signs. And it also gives you a comprehensive understanding because astrology works in conjunctions, in yogas, in patterns coming in together. So, whilst you guys understand that what each of these respective transits mean for you, but collectively, these four planets, which is Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu, what sort of an impact they will be creating for the remaining 5.5 months for you. In this video, we are going to deep dive and give you that understanding. I would love for you to please share your comments, feedback, so that when I'm making my other videos, and I plan to do a couple of series following in the next few weeks, I can incorporate some of those questions and come up. I think one of the key questions that you've asked is around retrogression of planets, combustion of planets. Guys, that is on my radar. It is on something that I have to do. I will put together videos where we will deep dive into those areas as well. But without further ado, let's jump into this video to understand what next 5.5 months have in store for you. Thanks to all this delay because of my microphone, which stopped working abruptly. I had recorded this video as well, but I have to redo it because none of my audio went into my system. But thanks for your patience, guys. I had posted it on YouTube as well. And now, as you can see on your screen here, Cancerians, you see that Ketu is placed in your second house, Rahu is placed in your eighth, Jupiter is in your 12th, and Saturn is in your ninth in retrograde motion. And you see all of the key difficult houses seem to have been getting some sort of an impact with all these, major planets, slow moving transitory planets, albeit I'll take away that slow moving from Jupiter for now, but they seem to be making a considerable impact on your chart. Guys, we have to understand each of this bit in all of them coming in yogas together. We've done individual videos of Jupiter, Rahu, Saturn's retrograde as well. But you have to understand the first and the foremost thing that Jupiter and Rahu happen to be in trine at this point in time. And Jupiter is the one who is going to be making a transit into its sign of exaltation later mid of October, means this reading can be split into two parts. The point until when Jupiter remains in your 12th house and post which he moves into your first house, into your Lagna, if you are watching it from a moon sign or from a rising sign perspective. Now, for the first half of this duration, whilst Jupiter and Rahu are in trine to each other, you will see that your houses 4, 8, and 12 are getting impacted. And this is going to be a phase where there will be a maximum amount of fluctuation in your emotions, in your assets, in unexpected income coming your way, or losses finding a route to your life. And the reason I say that is that fourth house depicts your assets, it denotes your movable, immovable property, it denotes your knowledge, your mental peace, your emotions, the health of your mother itself, your motherland for that matter. And both Rahu and Jupiter are giving an aspect to your sign of Libra. Now, of course, we will talk about movement of Venus through the course of the monthly readings, but we have to understand here, folks, that both of these planets have an expansionist mindset. They look forward to expand, grow, increase in size, and that means that there will be a fabulous opportunity during the course of this period for you to add on to your savings, to add on to your wealth. You might want to acquire something big from your own savings, from your own earnings. But there could be an unexpected support that might come, maybe in the form of inheritance. Remember, Jupiter is giving an aspect to Rahu as well, where he's placed in the eighth house and he's bringing an expansion there. So it is possible that you want to purchase a bigger property, you want to purchase a new asset, a car, a vehicle, a laptop for that matter, because it helps you in terms of doing your job. And you could be falling short of money, you need some support, but instead of going borrowing around, you will go ahead and get that support probably from your parents, probably from your spouse, because eighth house is the joint wealth with your spouse as well. Your in-laws could support you in making a major purchase. So something of that sort definitely seems to be making a trigger for you Cancerians, but you have to also understand that this could also be a period where you can see considerable expansion in your knowledge. And this expansion of knowledge is crucial because eighth house is the house of research. Eighth house is the house of doing deep dive in some area. And I've been calling this out to you, Cancerians, that this is an excellent opportunity for you to pivot yourself, to learn something new, to understand. In fact, even the Saturn video, I had called out the importance of AI. Guys, even if you are not a part of the technology industry, you have to understand that this technology is going to disrupt everything that we are doing from all walks of life, from all spheres of life. Many of you keep posting me these notes that they are struggling with getting my right job opportunity, not able to work things out. And folks, it is not just your chart, it's the macroeconomic situation, Desh Kalpatra, as we talk about it in astrology as well. So this is going to be a pivot, Cancerians, for you, where you could learn something new and expand on that knowledge base into your fourth house, which could turn out pretty positive. Why? Because Rahu denotes technology. Rahu denotes something which is alien, unknown, ununderstandable to us. And Jupiter is the key attributor towards knowledge, sound knowledge in that area. So them being in trine is not at all a bad thing, but you have to also be cognizant that Jupiter initially will be in a nakshatra ruled by Rudra, which is nakshatra of Rahu. So somewhere or the other, Rahu will be much more staunch, strong, confident, comfortable during this transit for you folks. And I expect you to ensure that material aspect of your life is aligned with some spiritual goals, with some spiritual objectives, with learning of some sort. It is going to be a precursor of the kind of shift you are going to see in the second half post Jupiter's transit. And we'll talk about it when he moves into a sign of exaltation. But that's the first and the foremost thing. Many of you could be making changes into your home. You could be expanding your current house. You could be bringing in some new accessories, decoration of some sort. That is highly probable. Tweaking of your current residence in terms of some sort of changes coming into play is also highly possible. But this is also going to be a period where you could be of interest, or you could find interest in making some speculative gains as well. Rahu is going to lure you in that direction. And I would want you to practice caution because this may not be the best bet. Saturn is retrograding, giving a retrograded aspect back to your sixth and the fifth. So remember that that bit is going to come into play. And that is why it is going to be a bit tricky, that you will have this attraction to make some more money. You will have this interest of uh, making fast money, but it may result into losses of some sort, and you might have to learn lessons. So it's a better idea. In fact, when I had done the recording of this video already, I had given one remedy, if I remember correctly, and this was few days back, that you must be, doing some kind of charitable activity, either in terms of donation or through your own hard physical self, doing volunteering activity of some sorts, donations of some sorts in, in health places, getting your body checkup done, etc., may not be a bad idea at all, folks. It will be very, very rewarding from that perspective, because you could curb some of the illusionary expenditures that Rahu might want to bring in your life. Now, then as you move further, Rahu is giving an aspect on that Jupiter and vice versa happening. So the expenses are bound to increase. Please do not be surprised on that front. And thereby it is important that you do your expenses in the right direction. Why all of this is mounting up? Because Ketu is also sitting in your second house. He's sitting into your house of savings, and he would want to keep you distant. In fact, a lot of times when people with Ketu in the second house placement come, I have given very specific remedies to them as to how they should be managing their finances. So in this case, what I would want to draw your attention is, don't get attached towards money or towards ensuring that a certain dollar number, a certain currency number in whatever place, country you live in, has to be reflecting in your bank account. Because money is bound to flow out. Expenditures in terms of health, in terms of money, in terms of your energies are bound to happen. And thereby, to address it, focus towards learning, focus towards long term investments, focus towards investing on yourself, focus towards probably some buying some assets that are more appreciating in nature than depreciating assets. And I hope, guys, you understand the difference between the two. So it is going to be extremely crucial for you to make those right choices. And, whilst Mercury remains retrograde, and at the time of this recording, we still have about 1.5 weeks where Mercury will remain retrograded. Decision making could be difficult for you in that sense. Now, as we move further, we see that Ketu is sitting in the second, giving an aspect to your sixth and tenth, and this is not a bad situation to be in. Guys, there will be problems that are definitely going to come into your life. Jupiter is giving an aspect to your sixth. Saturn is giving a retrograded aspect to your sixth. And when Ketu's aspect is also coming, it is telling you that whilst those obstacles will come, you will find a pivot, find a side angle to it, and just move on. So you might not get overwhelmed with the challenges that your peers are throwing at work. Some of the people who are, for example, preparing for competitive examinations, this is going to be a period for you guys to understand, comprehend that is your readiness to the zilt. If not, I think your focus will move towards preparation and cracking open some examinations, winning over some competitive situations, winning in business areas as well against competition when you are in a competitive bid sort of a situation will translate better for you in the second half part of this reading when Jupiter is becoming exalted in your life. Now, one bit that you'll have to take care of, on one side of the spectrum you might want to have an escapist behavior. The other bit is that the interest, the focus, the zeal to continue to put your effort at work towards your karma might get diminished, guys, and this is a little bit of a tricky situation. That's a little bit challenging. And you will have to figure out that how do you push yourself all the more. Good part is, at least for the next 40-45 days, you will have Mars, which is your 10th lord, placed in the third house. So there is going to be a lot of benefit in terms of you bringing some level of effort. But yes, Ketu's impact there cannot be missed and it must be taken into account. And thereby, it is important. There will be situations, guys, Cancerians, where you will feel like dropping the ball, cutting some slack for yourself, not waking up on time, not running your daily chores on time. You've been following deadlines and now you suddenly start missing them over the course of next few weeks. Well, this is where you have to be absolutely cognizant that you are doing the right thing. You have to be on top of your game. You have to understand that the moment you are slacking, the moment you are pulling yourself out of that rhythm, things will go haywire for you. So you have to be extremely cautious on that front, Cancerians. Now, as we move further, I've talked about the work and savings perspective. From a health standpoint, I would want you to, take absolute care of yourself. Focus towards your fitness and see that how you can do better, what you can do better. Whilst Jupiter is supporting you in the second half of it, Jupiter becomes exalted, albeit he will be retrograde pretty soon. But Jupiter coming into the Lagna, Jupiter coming into your Rashi house, sign of exaltation, and giving an aspect to your fifth, seventh, and ninth is a beautiful situation to be in. In fact, this is a point where Jupiter will be being the lord of your ninth house, being the lord of your destiny, your values, and it getting exalted in your Lagna is going to now bring favor of luck, support of your destiny in your direction itself. But you have to understand, guys, that it will not pan out. These are transitory readings. It will not pan out for you if you've not kept that rhythm intact, which I was alluding to a minute back. So being consistent in the first phase of this, so that when Jupiter becomes exalted, is going to definitely give a lot of positive outcomes for you guys. And you will see the benefit of that coming through. He will be keeping a check on that retrograded Saturn as well. Now, Saturn's retrograde we've discussed. He is expecting you to work harder and he's promising you to deliver the outcomes, the goals, objectives, desires that you've set forth. But he's giving that retrograded aspect to the 11th house. Then he's giving that aspect to your third and your sixth as well. So there could be tendencies for you to escape for not putting enough hard work, not putting enough efforts. And that is how Saturn is testing you, folks. But if you remain consistent, the same Saturn, when he becomes direct or in the last part of this transit itself, will start fructifying. So the second phase of it, which is from October second half, is going to be very rewarding, Cancerians, only and only if you are sticking to the game plan in the first half, which is your August, September, and October first half. And thereby this remains absolutely crucial. Now Jupiter's aspect here will give you possibilities to expand on your education. This is the time where you could do well in terms of cracking any kind of competitive examinations. Romance, relationships, strengthening of relationships, etc., could work out well for you. Retrograded aspect of Jupiter is not bad when compared to what you see from a Saturn's perspective, guys, and thereby it is a good situation to be in. However, just on the basis of transit, I will not be able to promise that you can go ahead and get married whilst Jupiter is exalted and giving a debilitated aspect to the seventh house. I'm not very confident unless and until your dasha, antardasha is running well. Saturn is doing well in your natal chart. Seventh from your moon is decently placed. You have to look multiple into such scenarios to figure out. Because many of you ask me, Dev, is it a right time to get married? Please hold on to your reins only from a transitory standpoint perspective. However, this is going to be a good period for you folks to start new business relationships, to get into new, formal partnerships as such. You will find it to be a rewarding period because you yourself will be full of knowledge. If you're eyeing something, if you're targeting something, luck is going to bring that trigger of support like a catalyst to expedite things. And that 2.5 month period from October second half all the way till end of December is going to be very crucial in terms of you trying to materialize few things. There will be a push that will come from Jupiter before he returns back to the 12th house. So that's a positive bit happening. And once he returns again, he becomes trying to Rahu. So people who've not been able to close certain elements with respect to their assets, property, bid, etc., you can wait from that January month onwards to pick on those activities once again. Last but not the least, guys, I anticipate that the month of December is going to bring much more reward for you. It is going to be a period where all the headaches that you've taken, all the hard work that you've put in is going to transpire into, amalgamating in the right outcome. It could be with respect to your career, with respect to your education, relationships, health as well for that matter, overcoming your obstacles, enemies, any kinds of loans and litigation that you've been stuck with. You will find that more or less you've handled most of your problems. So the year is seemingly ending in a very high positive note for you guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, then please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dev Astrology, and keep watching.